Fish and jerks. Fish and jerks.
That's my Abraham Lincoln at Disney World impression.
It's pretty good. Spot on.
Hi, Shelby. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. We've got the amazing Shelby. You know, I was going to say the better looking one of the group of the Garden of Eder group, but I don't know. Grant is one sexy piece of swamp meat, you know?
It's true.
I don't know. It's tough. I'm not sure which one, you know, really is the better looking between the two of you. But thanks so much for being here. I'm glad we finally get to do this. You know, it was a blast meeting you at the Keystone Clash, and I was looking forward to this for a long time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, I want to thanks everybody for being here. I see a ton of people. Just want to remind everybody that Fish Fam Christmas is going on right now. There are multiple streams tonight happening. You'll really want to pay attention to all of them, but I'm going to give you a spoiler. I don't do any of the giveaways on my own channel, just so you know. So if you see me doing a stream, I don't have any giveaways on my channels. Just want to throw that out there. Make it easier on you guys. It just doesn't happen here. And you'll also notice that there is no memberships or super chats or any of that stuff. Just it's off for a while. I'm just going to leave it at that. The next thing is we're not going to look at the chat. Shelby and I are going to have a conversation. You know what? I didn't ask you. Are you good for? Do you have a time limit tonight? Are you good for a couple
Good
hours?
tonight. No,
Okay.
we're good.
Okay, so we're going to just have a conversation, and then whenever it feels like the right time, we're going to open it up, and you guys can ask questions of Shelby and get to learn more about her, too. So with that, I'm going to close the chat, so it's gone. I can't even see it. So now they can talk about me. And, okay, hi, Shelby.
Hello.
So I know you live in Florida, and I actually, because we did an interview with Grant, and because we've got to meet and hang out, which I'm looking forward to Keystone Clash again. You guys are going to be there again, right? For sure.
Oh yeah.
Great. It's going to be even better this year than it was last year, and that's saying something. So I do know, you know, some stuff about you. I know you've lived in Florida for all of your life, correct?
Yes.
You were born and raised in Florida.
Born and raised.
I also know that you met Grant in high school. You guys met on the swim team. Yeah, I think that's really. I mean, I know other stuff, but that takes away from it. So we'll go through it. So you're a Florida person. I forgot which part of Florida are you guys in. What's the biggest town closest to you?
The biggest
Orlando, right?
town would be Tampa, like 45 minutes away. Yeah, we're 45 minutes north of Tampa.
Okay. And you've lived always in that same area too?
No, I was born in Miami, Florida, and raised in the Florida Keys in Marathon, Florida, like half my life, and now half my life up here. So,
got you. The Keys are beautiful. If I had a favorite part of Florida, the Keys are it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous to visit.
Yeah. Do you still have family down there?
No, my dad recently moved up here to be with us. The Keys get a little too expensive, so like I said, it's really nice to visit, not to live there. It's
Gotcha.
okay, but you get really bored. The movie theater does not have like really good movies. You'd have to drive to Key West for good movie theaters. Like the town is really small. Everyone knows everyone. I got in trouble a lot. If I did something like 3 streets over, my mom was called before I could make it home. So, you know, small towns, it can happen. But I like it up here a lot more. I get things that I like to do, like the rivers. The ocean's cool, but like you get bored of it if you don't have a boat. And
yeah. The river's always changing. Just you can go around a corner and it looks totally different.
Right, and I can just swim the river. I don't need a boat for the river.
Yeah. And around you, is there a lot of gators and stuff? I honestly don't know my Florida geography that well. So are there a lot of gators close to you guys?
Yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, just about every time we go to the river, there's a gator on there. You don't really see the bigger ones. You'll see some babies once in a while. like right off
That's
of
worse.
where.
I think that's worse. You really don't see the bigger ones because you know they're there. What did I just step on? Was that's what I would be freaking out about because you can't see, right?
Yeah, most of the rivers here are pretty clear, so you could see them. It's the
Okay.
murky areas you want to stay out of. So, like one
Yeah.
of our popular rivers to visit is the Chaskawiska River. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it's like one area we know for sure has to be a home to a gator because it's just so murky and out of the way, and it just you could see trails of where gators kind of go.
Gotcha.
Just like you would a boar where they nest
Okay.
and stuff. So gators do
Yeah.
the same thing. You'll see it on land.
You get used to looking for the signs and knowing where to go and
Yeah, you just don't go to the the areas where you definitely think there might be.
gotcha.
And then
That makes sense.
it could happen once in a while that you come across one, but as long as you leave them alone and you're not jumping like in front of them, they tend to just attack things that are moving. They don't tend to just follow you or want you specifically.
Got you. I think they would me though because I'm delicious. I mean, I just look delicious. I think every gator would just be like watching me. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Here's dinner.
yeah. That looks good over there. But that does make sense because I remember living in Arizona, we would go hunt. My ex father-in-law and I would go hunt rattlesnake, and that's really the safest time is when you're hunting them because you're actually looking for them, right?
Yeah.
When you're not looking for them and you're just hiking, that's when most people get bit. So that does make sense. That falls through. Okay, so you've traveled quite a bit though because you guys go to a lot of the shows and stuff like that. So you've been out of Florida quite often. Do you have like a favorite place outside of the state or?
That one's been really hard because like a lot of people ask like what was the favorite show or where to go. It's still like between two places, between like Colorado and between Chicago. Both of those, like Chicago in general, I don't think I would like just make a trip to go there by itself, but I enjoy the Renaissance, the atmosphere, and everything in Chicago. That specific little area that we go to,
Gotcha.
that one's really nice. Great food, but Colorado kind of centered me more, and I had a lot more fun there. The mountains, the scenery, the hikes, the waterfalls. That one definitely. We went back twice to Colorado, and I would visit over and over again.
Yeah, but would you ever move there? Would you want to move away from Florida?
No, I
There'd
don't
have to
like
be a
the
really
cold.
good reason, right? There'd have to be a really
Yeah. I absolutely cannot take the cold. Like
Oh,
I mean, the coldest I like it is maybe 70, and then most of the time I'm complaining. Then I'm more of someone that would
I
move to
remember.
like Puerto Rico or Hawaii, where it's like it's 80 all the
Yeah.
time, or closer to the equator. Like I like
Yeah.
it hot. I can cool off easier than I can warm up, and I'm one to munch on ice because I have low iron issues. So I'll just sit there munching on ice all day, and I like it to be hot, not freezing, so that I'm not shivering all day.
Yeah. I remember you and Grant both at the Clash. You both had your jackets and stuff. The second night, right? I don't think the first night you did. I think you weren't expecting it, right?
I was wearing a dress with a jacket on.
Because and I had like shorts and a t-shirt, and I was just fine. You get acclimated. You live in a place for a while. You get used to it. It's not like
Maybe.
I'm
I don't
tougher.
know.
Yeah, you do. You do. I mean, because again, I lived in Arizona a long time, got used to the heat, moved up here, and the summers it wasn't hot ever, and the winters were brutal the first few years. But now I don't mind the winters. I was outside today wearing Crocs with no socks and a t-shirt with pajama pants, walking the dog for like 10, 15 minutes. It's 30 degrees out with a breeze,
Wow.
and I'm not, it's not bad at all. I enjoy it. I walk outside and I fill my lungs with the air. It just, it really, it feels good. Anyways,
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
but you wouldn't want to move anyplace else, really. You really love living in Florida.
Yeah, I just enjoy the weather here and everything about it. There's not really anywhere that calls to me enough.
Gotcha.
It's getting there, but
Yeah.
maybe a vacation home.
Okay. Yeah.
Not
Maybe
move.
spend a month somewhere else, but then you always want to go back home. And again, you're relatively young, so who knows? In the future, you might say, "Hey, I've had enough of Florida. I want to go to Washington.
Yeah.
No, I don't see Washington. Uh,
Probably last state.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't like rainy, and I don't like I like bright sunshine. I am like the epitome of a Florida person.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
that's the problem. I like the weather. I don't the short winters. It seems like perfect for me. I don't when it gets too cloudy or rainy out, it kind of makes me real sad, and I kind of just want to go to sleep, and my migraines get real bad. So no, thank you.
Barometric pressure does change a lot when you've got places where it really raises and lowers a lot in different climates. Florida, not so much unless you've got the hurricanes coming in, right?
Right.
The barometric pressure is a huge swing.
And it's too dry up north. So like Colorado, I was like coughing up blood and bloody noses the whole time I was there. It looked like I had been sick with some like a zombie virus. Like, this is not good. And I feel like a fish out of water. Like I don't realize how long, because born and raised in Florida, it's always been humidity. And, like my lungs were just like couldn't handle. They're like, what's going on?
And with the low iron too, that's got to just compound it, losing.
Yeah,
the blood
it was not good. It was
Jesus,
struggling. I was trying so hard.
Stay in Florida, please. Please, just stay in Florida. Okay, so I always forget. You guys have 2 kids?
Yes.
2 kids, and boy and a girl?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know why I can't remember that. I mean, I see them. Facebook and stuff, and see the pictures of them all the time. And how old are they?
10 and 8.
Okay, which are fun ages. Those are fun ages. Yeah, that's really the fun time, because they're still young enough that they believe your lies, but they're old enough to be able to do a lot of stuff on their own. It's a good age, because in a few years they're teenagers and they're just assholes. They're just assholes. They're all assholes. Every kid goes through an asshole phase. Some people just never get out of it, and they just keep going that way. But most people break out of it later on. But so you're coming up in the asshole phase. It's coming soon.
Hopefully they're good. I wasn't too mean to my parents. I listened to them and respected them quite a bit and helped them out. So hopefully that karma.
But they're half grants. They're half grants. So
I know.
It's a losing proposition. You're in for some.
I know.
And by the way, I still don't see him feeding the shrimp.
I know he's not. He's gonna wait till we're done with this, and then we'll have to feed the shrimp.
And Shelby will have to help him do it. that grant. So real quick before we go too much farther, too, TGOE shrimp.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of your name right there. You guys sell shrimp there. You sell plants. You sell what else? You got shirts now? What else do you have on your website? New
shirts.
Very
They're
cool.
Really cute. They're and then we do have fish as well. We plan on putting more fish in. We have the aqua char, and that's about it right now.
Your shrimp foods, right?
Yeah, shrimp. Yes. I should pull my website up. I already forgot.
I have some.
We got the bee's knees and the soy ahoy.
That's what I have.
Shrimp envy.
I don't know where it's at. I had it right next to me because my my shrimp tanks are right here as well. Oh well, I do have some of the soy ahoy that I got for you guys at the Clash. And by the way, my yellows that I got, my yellow neos that I got for you guys, doing great. Got babies in there. They're doing amazing. So
love it.
They look good. I just wanted to do a little, promotional for you there because, I love that we have so many people like you guys, like KJE Aquatics, like Bex with their artwork. We have so many small business owners in our community, and I just want to give them shout outs as often as I can and buy products from those small businesses as often as I can too. So just a quick shout out. Okay. So what do you like to do in your spare time? You don't really have a lot of spare time with the business and taking care of Grant and the kids and all the traveling. I mean, because you guys go to just how many shows did you go to this year? Do you know?
I absolutely don't know. Actually, we should take account of that. It was insane. And besides that, working full time, like coming back and working, and it was crazy. And the kids going to school. I have no idea. Oh, he says 10. He yelled.
Really? I would have thought more even, because I know every time I turned around, you guys were going to a show. But
A
even
lot of
10
them were
was a lot.
back to back. So
Yeah.
that was like the biggest thing where it was just like, oh, okay, another one.
So you
like
don't
you
have
couldn't
any
catch
free
your breath.
time. You don't really have any
Not-
free time.
Not really. Right now we have for like the past, but like we're still getting a lot of projects done. Like we just built a new rack for 3 40 gallons from the show. We brought home 40 gallons for our aquascapes. And right now we only have one 40-gallon by the front door that's on its own little stand, but it's kind of just taking up room when we can have 3 40 gallons in that spot. So we just built a new stand for them to go on, and we'll make really nice aquascapes. So right when you walk in the door, you'll see really nice aquascapes. Might add another 3 on the other side if it works out. It's cutting it pretty close. And then a new triangular one in a weird spot. It's supposed to be for all my plants. That's kind of my little side hobby, is just doing plants.
You said supposed to be.
Yeah.
Is it not? Do you think it'll turn into something else, or?
We don't know exactly how
Okay.
we're laying it out yet. So once we get to that, it will be for like little scapes, and then my plants, and then I actually do Legos too. When I can, I try to do Lego sets, and I want like all the flowers and insect ones, so I can kind of work them in with it. So
Nice.
I'm excited, but
That's so, it's so weird to me because, you're not the only adult that I know that really, really loves Legos. I mean, there was Legos when I was a kid too. Not too many. I think the space ones maybe came out right when I was maybe in my early 20s or something. But, they didn't have all the kits they do now. But like my daughter and her husband are really into them. My oldest son, he's 30. He's into them. I mean, it's really an adult hobby as well these days.
Yes.
That's
Especially
weird.
for the harder ones, like we just did a Baby Yoda or Grogu one.
Yeah.
I get
Nice.
so used to saying Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But that one was really interesting, and that's what got me to do it. Oh, thank you.
He didn't flap his arms. He didn't flap his arms.
It's soaking. I just got soaking wet. Sorry. There's so much water in the plant. But that's a little.
He ran.
Lobster,
He's probably getting you a towel or something.
I hope so. That's one of my beautiful plants, and we kind of incorporate the Legos into it.
Yeah. Here, let me put you on the big screen so we can see that better. Hold on. There we go.
See, isn't
Oh
it
yeah,
cute?
look at that. That's cool. That's a
so
cool
cute.
lobster. Is it a lobster or a crawdad? It's a lobster, right?
I think it's a lobster. I believe so. Yeah. And it's thank you.
I love those monsteras too. Oh, and there's another guy down on the bottom. That is very cool.
Oh yeah, that was a little skeleton that's with the octopus kit.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a lot of water. I've been this fish tank water too. That's the worst part. Oh,
Grant,
no.
he's in the stream for 30 seconds and just a mess.
He wanted to be, yeah.
He's fun to pick on though. We love Grant. He's fun to pick on.
I'm hoping to get insect ones to do that for the plants. Like you can't really find them much, but I'll be trying to do that instead of all them. We have like hundreds of marine. Our Florida State Fair actually puts on. We do like the Florida Beautiful contest where the kids and us aquascape. Well, next to that is the Lego competition. So we've been trying to collect Legos for years to do a big marine one. But finding the right sized marine ones where you don't have a giant koi fish next to a tiny whale.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. So it's been fun.
That's cool though. So would you say that's do you ever like get a chance to sit down and read a book or anything? Do you enjoy doing that?
I haven't read books in a long time. I was doing that before we got a little too busy with the business. Actually lately we've either been playing Pokemon Go on the go to like go places, or Nintendo Switch. I like playing Animal Crossing. It keeps my mind off of things for a little bit, gives me that little you know, I have to
Clear
think
it
about
out.
100 things I got to do, you know?
Yeah. I play that
So,
one too. I haven't picked up my Switch in forever, but yeah, we'll have to send friend requests because I play that one as well. Animal
nice.
Crossing. I've got a Switch, but it's again, like I said, it's been months since I know it's charged because Gina's Reef also uses a Switch, and she sent me a friend request. I'm having trouble talking. I said friend request, friend request. Um, I don't know, 4 months ago, and I still haven't responded to it. So okay, so you do that kind of stuff just to get yourself a little bit of break, and then you dive back into the business and
Oh,
kids
yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So it's a busy life.
Oh, 24/7. I'm usually up real late and up real early. Almost like a farm life.
Now, if you had more time, is there something that you'd really like to do that you just, I mean, something special that you just don't really have the time or energy to do right now? Is there something hobby wise, not like education or something responsible, something irresponsible and fun and just something purely for you? Is there something you'd like to do that you don't have time to do today?
Um, Paintballing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. We really enjoy doing that. And like there's a couple days where we could go, but then we're just too tired. So it'd be nice to
Yeah,
have some energy for that again.
gotcha.
And it gets too hot sometimes to play. You gotta full gear up and it gets way too hot. But paintballs I enjoy letting my rage out. And I think that helps. Like I
Yeah.
played Call of Duty for a long time and I just don't have time because like I just sit there way too long and I want to play the next game. And then before you know it, it's 3 a.m. and I'm about to get up at 7 and
Yeah.
we don't like a cranky Shelby. So
Now,
yeah,
when
paintball's
you
fun.
when you do play paintball, are you and Grant on the same team always, or do you
No,
always different teams?
sometimes.
Okay.
Well, I try to play with him because he's very skilled.
Okay.
Um, and I do not like to get hit 20 times. So I don't play just like woods ball and like the different maps that are a lot bigger. I usually play speedball, which is a shorter map, and it's what it is, speedball. It's real fast paced. So you get hit like 6 or 7 times when you start getting hit. Um, Sometimes you can luck out and someone's nice and you only get hit a couple times, and it's like close range sometimes. And man, Grant's got me really like, and I know he's fast. This is the funniest thing when we one-on-one sometimes to practice, and I get so scared. I just start like straight running across the field, and he'll be running I know he's fast. He knows he's faster than me. I can't compete, and we'll be running opposites, and we'll see each other and just turn around and just start laying fire. It's insane.
Yeah.
Mother's Day, he shot me probably 30 times that the people on the sidelines were like, stop, it's Mother's Day. And I'm over here laughing because I know he can't hear. I know that's why he doesn't know that he shot me yet. And I'm getting pummeled. It's enjoyable though. The
Yeah.
adrenaline rush from paintball is just like no other.
And I think stuff like that, being able to play like that and to have that type of fun is, it strengthens relationships big time. Couples that can engage in that kind of stuff and just laugh it off and have a good time with it, I think usually have a pretty strong relationship.
Yeah, but if
It
I
helps.
lost a point in paintball, he was just going to leave me at the field. I'm just
He is very competitive, right? He said
Yeah.
that. He said he's a very competitive person.
We both really are. We're like two bulls in a china shop, is what I say. It's going down.
That's funny. One of these times, maybe I won't play, but I'll be a spectator. Maybe one of these events or something.
That'd be cool. I hope to compete again one day. It's been a little while. So, and our guns are getting a little dusty there, Grant. I know you're watching.
Now, airsoft is sort of the same type of thing, right? Have you ever done that?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
It's I think it's I don't know much about airsoft, honestly.
I know it's different, but it's the
Yeah.
same basic idea. I know my son-in-law, if he's here in the summertime, he goes and does it. And it's the same basic idea. You just go out and you shoot people for
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
but
I know a lot of people can't take the paintball. Like they actually do hurt. I usually wear a hat backwards and then my mask. A lot of people wear headbands, but I wear a hat because it gives me a little bit more protection. And if someone's gun's turned up a little too high, which we've had that happen before, it hit me right on the crown of the head with my hat on. It had swelled up and blood had been dripping. That's how much the gun was turned up and hurt. And I just broke out in tears right away. And I was like, I swear I'm not trying to cry. It hurts so bad to hit the top of your head right there. And, some people really can't take it. I had people when I walked up to the field at speedball, most of the time you don't see women at the paintball field at all, let alone at the speedball field. And they're like, oh, you can take that? And I'm like, yeah, it's an adrenaline thing. I'm lucky that I can take it. But a lot of people can't. Like, they won't even step foot on that field. Like, they'll take one from long distance. They don't hurt as bad. But, I mean, you can come home with welts and bruises and blood. So some people have to do airsoft.
I would be crying for real. Like, you're crying because it hurts, but I'd be crying like, why would you do that? Just bawling like a baby. For sure. I don't have a high tolerance for pain these days. So
I normally don't. It's the adrenaline for some reason during those. Like, it gets pumping. I don't feel it.
Yeah. And it wasn't Grant who had the gun turned up too high. You guys, okay.
It wasn't until his buddy, so he hit me and I kind of walked off. I just went and left. And then his buddy was playing. We were all 1v1 Grant, and he's beating everybody. These people are just dropping off like flies because they're like, ow, ow. They're all just dropping. They're like, I can't play no more. Usually you rotate and keep going, but everyone just kept dropping. They're like, I'm not even going to play against him. I'm done. And then his buddy finally came up and then got hit in the hand, and it swelled up like a gumball on his hand, and there's just blood pouring out. He's like, Jesus. Dude, is your gun turned up? What is going on? Like, my hand should not be looking like this. And it took that to have Grant realize it had turned up a little bit too much. Those things are dangerous. They are, for sure.
Oh, the face you made when I asked. That was beautiful. That was perfect. Yes.
It's a common mistake. A lot of people, someone else broke one of Grant's brand new hoppers. There's a window in it. And they had broke it because their gun was turned up too much. It shattered. That's how hard this thing hit. And he was like, dude, you need to turn that down. So it happens a lot. It's like 2 turns of the bottom of the gun for it to be too much and can really kick out a lot.
I did not realize that they were that strong. I've never messed with one at all. Never once have I. Oh, I didn't realize that's a little scary. You'd think there'd be some type of I don't know, limiter or something for.
Yeah, so normally you can go check. They have the field. You're supposed to go check. But the refs are really they're barely paid very well, and they don't check every single person. So it can happen once in a while. Like, say you go back and you're trying to tweak your gun because something's not shooting right. You could quarter turn it by accident and it be, up just enough to hurt a little bit more. So it can happen. It doesn't happen very often, though.
Good. Your hobbies are a lot different than mine. That's for sure. Yeah. I'm not really into the painting stuff that much at all. Really, just doesn't really do it for me. But good to know. Good to know. Okay, so anything else? Do we touch on it? Do all the hobbies? Is there anything else that you really like to do, or would love to be able to do more of?
Painting.
That you really don't?
Painting,
you're an artist as well.
Yeah, I've been painting for years, but I mean, I don't have detail work. Like, Bex is amazing. I do more of fun little stuff and crafts and stuff. Like, I make little miniature shrimp, and I've made candles for people and things like that. I enjoy just making new things all the time, and some of them are fun, and I just don't get to do it very often. I like textures and 3D clays, and if I do a canvas, I usually do a 3D canvas and things popping out from it and stuff like that.
Do you ever watch Chattanooga Ed on his Crafted?
Yeah, I've already asked him. I want to do an episode where we're crafting together.
Nice. Good. That's
I
where I was
wanted his
going.
shrimp so bad. I
Yeah.
tried getting those so bad.
The ghost knife that he's making for Jason, Death's Unknown, to give away. Uh-oh, your camera went out. Can you still hear me?
I'm here. I don't
Okay.
know what happened to my camera though.
It's back.
That was weird. It said connection. That was weird.
Grant's doing something. I know it.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
Oh yeah, he's making for Depths Unknown, Jason. He's making a black ghost knife. Ghost. I said that weird. Said like a Canadian ghost knife. It's amazing. Ed is really talented that way too. Did you just see what happened behind you? Okay.
Yeah.
He still didn't flap his arms like he was supposed to, though. We had a deal that if it was going to be the screen, he had to come in flapping his arms. That was the deal, and he's let me down. So I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, how dare you?
He's made a lot of stuff like that, though, and he's very talented.
Yeah.
And I love that he's giving them all away. And one of these days, maybe at the Keystone Clash, if he brings some of it again this year, I'm gonna make sure I'm the person who gets some, because I need to have some of that Chattanooga art in my house somewhere. I got a ton of the Beck stuff. I got a ton of Priscilla. That's really probably it. I was going to go on and on. That might be the only art I have. But we have so many amazing artists in our community. We really do.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of them. Okay. Where was I going to go next? Plans for next year. Are you guys going to be at as many events next year? Are you going to back off a little bit? Are you going to increase? Do you even know yet?
So we plan on doing a lot more. It's just whether we can get it to line up right. That's why I stepped back from my job, is that so I can do more shows. I only work 3 days a week, and they perfectly in the middle of the week, so that I have time off for these shows, so I don't have to request time off or anything like that. So we plan on doing as much as we can. Just right now, we're waiting on a couple people to let us know dates and stuff. We already have other clubs planned, so try to go as much as we can.
And again, I know I asked earlier, but you said the Keystone Clash is definitely
definitely.
Good. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys again. We had a lot of fun last year. And again, they have so many amazing speakers lined up this year. John and Lisa, Bentley, Dan, Kelly. Oh God, who am I forgetting? I don't even remember. I'm not even sure if they're all announced yet, but
you named all the ones I would have named.
So many amazing speakers this year. And plus, last year there was about 60 of us from the community, 60, 65.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I think this year it's going to be even more. I really do. I think we're going to maybe hit that 100 mark of people from our community. So
I'm excited.
We had so much fun just hanging out in the parking lot, right? Just sitting out there and chatting, talking for hours. Yeah, talking for hours. We just had a blast. It was so much fun. Okay, geez, I'm running out of things to ask you about. Let's see. You talked about your job. Let's go back. Let's go through your employment history a little bit. So because I know you've done a lot of different jobs. Let's go back. What was your very, very first job you ever had as a kid? First one that you got paid, like, not like babysitting or anything like that, but first one you got paid, an actual check for.
Subway. Yeah.
Subway. Okay.
I'm a sandwich artist, by the way.
Yeah.
You have to take a class to become assistant manager, and had to take a class to become a sandwich artist. Exactly. Yeah, it's one of my first jobs. I had one of my friends was working there, and she's like, "Oh, you should work here." Then she got fired and I got hired. And that was my first job. I was working there for maybe 2 weeks. Started working as an open and closer. Then I moved into assistant manager within the first month, which is never a good sign. It's going to be a toxic workplace. And then I became manager, and I worked there for quite some time as a manager. Only 18 years old, and that was my first job. So
wow.
And then after that, kind of I stayed at home for a little bit because I had Layla and wanted to stay with her and for the first like 6 months. And I went back to work.
That's awesome.
7-Eleven was the next job, and they promoted me to assistant manager pretty quick. And I worked there for years, like whether I was working at another job. Then I eventually picked up several jobs where I was working 7-Eleven. I worked at Screamageddon, which is like a scare house. So that was only like about 2 month thing that I got to scare people.
You know what? I think they have that here too. They have it. We have a permanent Renaissance fair, and they have it there. And I think maybe it's not the same exact thing, but it's called that. So the Renaissance is done. You know, it usually ends up like last week of August or first week of September, something like that. And then they start rolling into that. They get it all set up, and the whole town for the Renaissance fair becomes a big Screamageddon, I think is what it's called. I wonder if it's the same thing.
Yeah, so it's all over.
It's just a haunted house, basically, though, right?
Yeah, so it's one that's actually like more close knit. They'll only do like 4 or 5 houses, and it's a touch scare. So like if you pay a little extra, you get a glow necklace, and you get to like throw them around. So I usually get to like push people and things like that, push them right into the monsters, and push them on a gurney, and then just like spin the gurney and walk away. It was fun to scare people. And then I was working, the discus are so weird. Sorry. You catch eye contact with those discus and they're just staring at you. Then I was working at West Marine. I really didn't know anything about, it's a boat store. I didn't know a single thing about boats and GPSs and things like that. I started working there part-time, just working in the clothing and stuff like that. And I took that part-time, working 7-Eleven part-time, and then I started working at Springbrook Hospital part-time, which is a mental health facility. And then I wanted some extra cash and just to get like the business going and things better. So like I would take odd end jobs like almost every weekend. I worked for someone out in by the docks that had like got me painting docks and other end jobs. And then my friend offered me a part-time job washing dogs at her dog groomer, so I was doing that at the same time. So it was like 5 to 6 jobs, and I was just kind of bouncing like whoever was going to give me money, I would just go go work for them part-time. And then eventually I was able to stop doing that because everyone started giving me raises at the jobs that I was at because they didn't want me to be pulled away for another job. So they were like, oh, well, we'll give you a raise here, here, and here. And so then I was just down to 7-Eleven, West Marine, and Springbrook, and I stopped doing the part-times. And then 7-Eleven offered me to run the whole store, but they only wanted to give me a 50-cent raise. And I loved her, but I'm like, no, I am not running your store for $8.50 an hour. That's absolutely absurd for you to think that when you're making way more than that. I do your numbers. I know your order, and I know how much money you make. And then Springbrook, I was only working there like the weekends, and they wanted to train me to be a mental health technician, where I help the people that get Baker acted and things like that. But that place was really depressing. It's too much to work in there. I had a lot of people in my family that had mental health, like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So to watch people like that be in a place like that was kind of sad for me, and I couldn't do that. And the job I was working was reception, and I'm a more of a get up, go person, and to sit down and they tell me not to do things absolutely drove me bonkers. That's when I started reading for a little bit.
It drove you crazy at the crazy house.
Yes, and I was
at least you were right there. You didn't have to go anywhere for
exactly.
Get up and walk into the other room.
Right. There was occasions, and the people that admit themselves, it could get a little crazy. So it's just not something that I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not for me. So they offered me more money, but I was like, I don't fit here. Like I think there's other possibilities. And at the time, West Marine finally, a couple of the girls just couldn't cut it because they couldn't learn anything. And if you can't learn things, you're kind of useless. So like if I have to come up, answer every question that a customer asks you, what's the purpose of you being here?
Yeah.
It
Yeah, you're
doesn't
doing their
help.
job.
Yeah, so they ended up leaving, and then I got promotion after promotion and became AM1, and then became the manager. So then I just worked there full time, and that's what I've been doing for quite some time now, like 3 years, and then finally stepped down this year. I bit that bullet and stepped down. It's a lot of work, and to run that and the business at home and the 2 children, I just never found time for myself.
So you still work for them, but you're just not a manager anymore. And
yeah, I'm a inventory manager, so I actually got a raise and stepped down.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I don't care what you give me. Like, I just need this part-time. I don't really need to work here. I just kind of want to work here once in a while just to have that steady income. Yeah. And they came back with a higher offer than I said that I would take. I was like, okay, sounds great.
So you don't have somebody who you used to supervise as your boss then there?
I had a district manager, but like they come once in a while. You don't see them very often. And he was real laid back and great. And he was really upset when I told him I was stepping down. He was like, why? And I was like, I'm traveling too much and I can't, I can do both, but like I don't have enough PTO for all of it. So it was just the right move to make.
Yeah. And all those management skills really makes a lot of sense. You and Grant make even more sense to me now. Being able to manage people so much.
Yeah.
Poor Grant. He hears that a lot. He hears those types of, people are always saying Shelby runs that booth,
It's
stuff.
only the fish fam though. You would be surprised how many people ignore me in my own clubs. They don't know, like I don't talk very often. But it's surprising I sit here and talk for 2 hours on Mondays. I could talk and I could talk in person. But when I go to some of these events, I don't really talk very much. I clam up quite a bit. I don't want to say the wrong things. So
gotcha.
I get really quiet, and a lot of people don't know that I'm involved as much as I am. And he's always been Grant, the master shrimp breeder, He's always talked about a rave, so it's okay for you guys to give him a little crap.
Yeah. That's it too, is he knows that it's all in fun and that we that we don't really mean it. We obviously respect him and like him quite a bit. So he'd better. Yeah. Okay. What about channel wise? I know this is more of a question for you and Grant, but is there anything with you guys, with your channel that you want to change or you are going to change in the new year? Is there anything that any goals that you're working towards, any of that kind of stuff? Again, I know that's more of a you and Grant question, but if you know anything about it.
We hope to post more actual videos. Like I finally got the Triple Crown. I keep calling it Keystone Clash because right back to back,
Yeah.
But the Triple Crown video finally came out. We still got the Keystone. We still got the AGA, Aquashella, Ruben's house. We got all of these videos. So hoping to keep up with the videos. As far as live streams, obviously just keep our Monday. We do have like something in the works for another live stream, but like I don't want to give too much away on that. Like I'm excited about it, but just let's hope it all comes in pieces together and it's something that will be worth it.
Is there a timeline on that? Is there like will we know about it like in February or something like that, or just when it happens, it happens?
I'm hoping the new year. Hopefully we can get it all. Like we have the idea, we have it in motion. I just need to get to the graphics and things like that for it. And kind of launch it more professionally than just kind of like what we did with ours and just kind of let's do this.
But it works, what you got now definitely works for sure. I mean, it's a very popular stream, and I see there's 83 people on YouTube watching right now, and
oh wow,
I'm not sure on Facebook, but there's 2 thumbs up over on Facebook too. Let me see if there's over here if there's any. Real quick, I just want to see. Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. Because unfortunately I look at the YouTube chat and
Yeah.
not the StreamYard, so I can't see. We're on Twitch and Facebook. So if anybody is watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on Twitch, come over to the YouTube side. That's where there's 85 people currently, even though we're not looking at the chat yet. If somebody has come in and said something, by design, we don't look at the chat at all. But we're about to open it up here in just a few minutes for you guys to ask questions about Shelby. And let's try and keep it a little more, like personal. I mean, it's fine to ask questions about shrimp keeping or fish keeping and stuff. Shelby knows her stuff, but let's try and make it a little bit more, learning more about Shelby as a person, not so much as a hobbyist. Okay, let's see. So something's coming up after the new year, maybe a new stream. You guys are going to be traveling a lot, and you got a lot of videos that you've already got. You just need to put together and put all the fun,
piece them all together.
Yeah.
Going through hundreds of film is crazy.
I've got it easy. I know so many of you guys that do this amazing editing and make these amazing videos, and I never do any editing at all. I just take the footage. I might cut out a couple little parts or something if somebody's doing something wrong or inappropriate, but otherwise I slap my intro on there and boom, it goes up and that's it. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think for me. Now, is there anything about yourself though that you want to tell us that we didn't touch on? Something that happened in your life, good, bad, whatever, anything that you'd like to talk about, any kind of struggles that you've had, or something really cool that happened, or anything in between, anything that really comes to mind. Those are difficult. Grant just gave you some idea though, didn't he?
No, he's just.
Is he flapping his arm?
I think he's feeding fish. He said he would do that. Good. It's okay to feed those ones though. I don't like him feeding my fish. That's my job. No, nothing I can think of. Not that I would want to talk about. Okay. I just like to give the opportunity just in case, because a lot of times we don't steer the conversation towards something that something personal that somebody'd like to share about themselves. So I just like to give you guys the chance just in case there was anything. So, but if nothing comes to mind, now's a good time. We'll go ahead and open it up to the chat. Again, I currently see 89 people. So thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out with us and learning stuff about Shelby. So the very first thing, and again, please do the @RicoStan for me so it really pops out, because you guys are chatting a lot amongst yourselves. But let me hit that @RicoStan so it really pops out and I see it. And the very first one I have, so if you asked a question before it's 7:47 my time, I see Mark Sturlson is asking the Myrtle question. So I don't know how many of the focus-ons you've watched. Do you know what the Myrtle question is? Yeah. Okay. It's always difficult for me. So that's the one, what would I change about you and what would you change about me? To me, it's easy. Really? Because I have nothing that I would change about you, because I've met you. We've hung out a little bit, so I don't really know you. But I see you guys online, talking to you tonight and hearing how busy you are, but you're so happy to be busy. It seems like you've really found your place in life, and you seem like you're generally happy. And I know you have a great family life, so I don't think there's anything about you that I would change. I really don't. I think you've got it figured out at such an early age. So congratulations on that. And that sucks for the rest of us losers out here that, are maybe a lot older. In our own way. We're a lot older and maybe never figured things out. So, but your turn. Well, you hear this almost every single one. The only thing I would change is your health and be better so I could see you more and we see you at every event. I would drag you to every event with us. That'd be awesome too. I definitely love to go to more of them. And thank you. I mean, and I do appreciate that. I did have a pretty good life before getting sick with stuff. And life isn't horrible now. I mean, retired, I have plenty of time on my hands. I have a lot of friends here. I have an amazing family. So it's not like my life is bad. Right.
by any means. But yeah, I would definitely love to be able to travel some more. So let's see. Hi, Melvin. I see Melvin saying hi. We got Myrtle's question from Mark. Thank you, Mark. Bex making sure. Thank you, Bex. Doing some mod stuff there. Scotty the fish freak. You know Scotty. What killies do you have now? And do you have a dream killie? Well, it's a three-part. Let's start with what killie fish do you have currently?
So currently, let's give some common names to make it a little easier for people. So I have some clown killies fish, blue galaris. I have some. Goodness, you always draw a blank when you're doing it. Blue lyre tails. There's probably 20 different kinds. Notheobranchs, Zanzibars. I have like 4 different types of Notheobranchus, which are the annual killies. I just don't know their exact names. It's really hard to remember their last name because they're all Latin, so it's a little bit harder. I got some Turkish killies. They're really cute. Not much newer ones though. I knew he'd make an appearance somehow,
I still don't see any flapping arms.
No, he's.
What the?
Are you listening through the headphones? Nod, yes.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Oh, he's not watching us anymore.
All
No,
right.
you're lagging behind.
Oh. What was the second part of that question?
Oh, the second was what is your dream killie? Is there one you don't currently have that you?
Oh, I don't know the name of it. I only know how pretty it looks.
Gotcha.
But yes, I'll have to get back to Scotty on that one. I'll have to. Yeah,
they're on my short list too. I'm thinking once I make some changes in the new year, I don't know what killies I'll start with. I do like those blue galaris, but yeah, I definitely
personality.
They're next on my my short list. I got the Gudaids that I wanted, so those are next. And the third part of that is what, and you already said why you want that dream one, because of how they look. They're just amazing looking.
Yes.
Fish, right?
And well, the main thing is I'm not focusing on anything because I need to build the new rack for the killies fish. So I haven't been doing like anything pertaining to them. I'm just keeping them alive.
Gotcha.
They're just chilling.
Okay. It jumped on me. Here we go. Right here. From your buddy Crypt Keeper. Hello. If Grant woke up one day and decided he's no longer keeping shrimp, what would Shelby stock in each and every one of the 400 plus tanks in the house?
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
So if Grant woke up one day and decided he was done with shrimp, what would you do with all the tanks? Would you continue on with shrimp? Would you do something different? Would you?
I probably would keep a couple like racks of shrimp for sure and specialize in some of them. But the rest would be definitely turned into fish tanks. I would make it more efficient in my eyes, that like this whole row is this specific parameters, this row, and then easy for me. He has his own system, but like I don't know the system. They gotta go. They're just gonna be fish tanks after that.
Now, you did say you keep some of the shrimp. Is there any specific ones that you keep?
I definitely love my pintos. They're really beautiful, dark red. And then the cheetahs, the raccoons, wild type shrimp. I really like tigers. So just about any tiger shrimp. You got orange-eyed blue tigers, black tigers, royal blue tigers. There's a ton.
So you don't like the Neos as much, really. You like the
I like the Neos. I'd keep ponds outside for the Neos for sure. Those would always go. Like those are so easy for me to take care of. If I had to step in and take care of everything, I would know how to, at least, the Neos would be easy, but I would narrow it down to tigers because they are easier. Some of his really, really nice shrimp, like those would be the ones that I would try to keep going. I probably would lose interest. A lot of people like those expensive, nice shrimp, but I don't really care for them too much. They're okay, but I like the active. I like the wild type,
Gotcha. Okay. We got that one. Lady Rorschach is next. What is something you wish you really knew about? What is a topic that you wish you knew so much about that you could give talks on it? like you were an expert in that subject? Is there anything out there that you would love to just really know, like being an encyclopedia for it?
I don't know. Honestly, I wish that I knew more math. Like, I wish I could do math off the top of my head. You know how efficient people are with math, and they're able to do like measurements for tank stands and being able to build things like that. And like, it would be so nice. Other than that, as far as talking, I would love to know Latin, Achilles fish. So I could do a whole talk about Achilles fish and how to pronounce things correctly and where it originates from and why we would keep Latin for the fish and, you know, have things make sense where they're not making sense anymore, you know?
Gotcha. Both good ones. And yeah, I suck at math too. I always numbers are not my friend. Bunny Viper, hi. She wants to know, what is the heritage of your name, Shelby K?
So my parents chose between Shelby or Savannah for my first name. And obviously went with Shelby because the doctor said I looked like a Shelby. And then that's my middle name, Kay. That's actually where my mother's middle name, who is named after one of the elephants at the Miami Zoo. So we just have that specific name. So
That's cool.
And growing up, my family always called me Shelby K because like a lot of people, when they have like Kay or Maria, they go by their middle names in the Keys and small towns. So Shelby K was always the way.
I wonder why. What is it about?
I don't know. A lot of people had hyphenated names growing up, and my family just stuck with it.
Well, I guess, I mean, you know, some places in the South as well, like, you know, Bobby Joe and stuff like that.
It's a Southern thing.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. And there's Scotty again. Wants to know when you're going to do your own stream, Achilles with Shelby K.
Whenever I have time. I was thinking about it and starting my own channel, but it would be more of my aquascaping that I do on my TikToks and stuff like that, and wild collecting. Trying to find more Achilles fish out in the wild and being able to classify them and know them off the top of my head. Like, we have tons of least Achilles here, catch them by the hundreds. And we have the golden top minnow Achilles fish and things like that. So it's interesting that like my two hobbies collide with aquascaping and wild collecting, that my Achilles fish and all that. So
KJE came in. Keith, you know, you guys got to meet Keith. Popping in real quick to say hi, and real quick, I'm going to do just a quick commercial. Fish Fam Christmas. Keith, KJE Aquatics, did donate to the event. Some of his stuff went. I'm not sure if all of it. I'm not sure where we're at with that, to be honest. I'm a little bit out of the loop this year, really. The committee did almost entirely all of the work. I added some advice and playing Santa, but they really did everything else. But Keith was one of the people who donated, and thank you to everybody that donated, because you guys made the event what it was. And thank you to all the channel hosts as well that joined in. It's so far we've done, I think 11 streams so far with giveaways. So we still have a long way to go. It goes all the way through the first of the year, and pretty much every day there's multiple streams with giveaways on them. So thank you, Keith. Thank you to all you guys that have donated and acted as channel hosts. Like you guys, you know, you guys are in the mix somewhere too. You guys are going to have a stream at some point over this event where Santa is going to come up. So you guys will have to make sure you watch Shelby and Grant. Could be a pop-up. It could be a scheduled stream. You just don't know. Okay, next up is Bunny Viper. Wants to know, if you could fly or be invisible, which one would you choose?
That one's a hard one. I would say a hard-hitting question here. This is a life-changing moment here. I would say fly, just because I could get things done faster.
Yeah. The thing,
and, I forget things at the grocery store a lot.
Gotcha. You can fly right back. But the thing about that question, I always wonder, and it depends for me, is now, how am I flying? Am I flying like Superman, where it's just basically shooting through the air, or do I actually have to work at it, and I have like these big ass butterfly wings or something, and I'm, like it's really hard to do, and I'm like, oh my god, I got to lose weight because I'm, and I'm really having a struggle to keep up there. That would
that would
change
suck.
my answer.
You're right. You're right. It would be
Which-
weird. My hair
which
probably
type?
wouldn't look good at the end of flying either.
Yeah.
I would look crazy everywhere.
Nano Aquarium guy, do you have a favorite, and hi Jay, favorite genre of movies, TVs, books, any of that kind of stuff? That type of entertainment. Do you really get
Everything
into
horror films.
horror films? Okay.
Yeah, anything dark and creepy. I've been watching scary movies since I was real little, and I just find them fascinating. It's more of the storytelling to me. If they could get me to think and can't guess the ending, because I'm one of those people that so detective shows and things like that, and crime shows and crime podcasts. I watch Crime Watch Daily constantly.
A lot of women.
I can figure things out. That's what usually can't surprise me very often. So watching a scary movie that I can't figure out the ending to, those are the ones I like.
Gotcha. And it's amazing how many females have that same answer, especially when it comes to the true crime stuff. The true crime stuff, and now somebody, I don't remember where I saw it, but this lady had an explanation for that, and she said, "Guys, the reason why so many of us women watch these true crime things is because it helps us figure out what we would do in that situation, because we maybe have been close to that situation, or we're worried about being in that situation. So this helps us get ready for it." That was what did you feel that be the case, that maybe there's a little bit of that there, or not?
Mine's
really?
more of investigator. I like to,
just the mental
solve the problem.
Stimulus.
Yeah, so it's like,
Gotcha.
What happened? And I could think about it. And obviously I'm not a detective here, but it's enjoying thinking about it, and cold cases. I like to, think about it. And it's an emotional thing too. It's like I kind of connect with the characters, and I want to help them out and things like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, if another life I would have been a detective for sure.
A lot of times, Michelle does not like to watch movies or TV shows with me, because I say, I'll tell what the next scene is going to be and what happens in the next scene. Because I'm like, oh, they're going to do this. And then they do it. I'm like,
Yep. See, I don't like those. Those are the ones that I will not recommend to people. But ones that get me guessing, and then I'm like, oh man, what was that really about? And then you got to rewatch it or stuff like that. Those ones are the ones that get me.
I did not see that coming. Okay. Scotty said, did she just say common name? Cheater. Next up is Mark again. And thank you, Mark, for doing all of that, for doing these questions for us, because Brookley can't make it either right now. The Brookley Bell question. So the Brookley Bell question is, do you have any strange physical traits? Like, can you cross your eyes a weird way, or wiggle your ears, your kneecaps on backwards? I mean, do you have any weird, physical traits like that?
The only thing that I could think of is when I move my ankle and just up and down, you can actually hear it crackling, and it's two bones moving together. Because when I was younger, we had coconuts at the end of the street, of course, palm trees, Florida, typical. It used to be like a mound of them. And I would just, I acted like a wild woman when I was young. I thought that, that's survival.
When you were young.
I would eat that coconut, So I took my dad's hammer, went down the road, and I put the coconut between my feet and was taking the back of the hammer to the coconut. Well, it didn't hit the coconut, it hit my foot. So I came back with the hammer in my foot and got it out. But ever since then, it just kind of crackles. That's the only weird thing about me. I think Grant will tell you 100 other weird things. But
the knot on the top of your head for when Grant beat you up. Susan from SLC. Susan was streaming. She must have already ended then tonight. Susan goes at the same time that I do every Tuesday night. We both go at the same time, unfortunately, so we don't get to watch. And Susan, I heard you had a good stream tonight, so hopefully you had a lot of fun over there. Okay, I got to scroll back up. It jumped on me. Okay, so I'm down to Eric Wyrock. What's up, Eric? Shelby, and this is another regular question. There's a lot of these now. There's probably 10 questions that get asked week after week after week, which I love. I absolutely love it. I think it's growing organically. So, what is Shelby's favorite sandwich?
Sandwich.
Do you like these sandwiches?
I would say the one I choose the most would probably be a turkey sandwich with Swiss cheese and pickles and olives.
Ooh, what kind of olives?
Just the black olives.
Okay.
I do like green, but I only like to eat the green by themselves. Like I can't have it with anything else, just by themselves. Yeah.
I like it with a little bit of Swiss cheese. Like I like to wrap a little bit of Swiss cheese around the green olive.
I might like that. I've never tried it.
Just the sliced Swiss cheese, not your, big chunk of it.
I think you're wrong.
Well, thanks for the feedback.
Meatball.
You order meatball probably 2-1 for turkey.
No, turkey more now. When I was younger, for sure, I definitely eat more meatball.
To this day, we can go to Firehouse Subs.
Specifically Firehouse, but that's because they heat their turkey. That's disgusting.
Oh yeah.
I can't eat warm turkey. I can't. I don't know why. My brain does. Like when it's thinly sliced and not for Thanksgiving, my brain's like, no, what are you doing?
Now, and what do you put on the meatball? Is it just like marinara and like?
Yeah, I'll put pepperonis on it once in a while. Salt, pepper, and basil. That's about it.
Oh, basil. Yeah, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good. Okay, down to Scuba Steve. What's up, Scuba Steve? Will she be doing a yellow and blue shrimp only tank dedicated to Steve-O?
Okay, yeah. We got to get a sticker for the tank so we could put it above there. We're gonna try it. Yeah, I mean it's worth a shot, man. We got an extra tank we can do.
And here's another one from Crypt Keeper. If Shelby could take her family away from life, which sounds like a very busy life, for a full year, all expenses paid, you don't have to worry about money, anything like that. What would be a couple of things that you guys would do, and where would you go? What would you see? Money's no object. You've got all the time in the world for that entire year.
So the two main things that I would do would go to New Zealand first. That's where Grant's half of his family's from. His grandmother owns a bed and breakfast on a hot spring beach.
Ooh. And
she is always tagging me and everything. And I just want to meet her. She just seems so lovely. And I just want to meet her and, have her meet the grandkids. She's never got to meet them. So that would be great. And New Zealand itself is gorgeous. I think I would get lost. Yes.
That's where these are from. These are Norfolk Island pines. They're my favorite.
Beautiful.
They're my favorite plant. I have 4 of them now in the house. There's another one on the floor over here and a 6-foot one over in the corner. And I absolutely love these. So that's where they're from. So if you go, I would like one of those. You could bring just,
sounds good.
But you got to bring me back one, a keychain size.
All right, I will.
That's one thing, though. So that's one thing. Is there anything else, or would you spend that entire year over there?
Probably half the year there, and then probably the other half in Hawaii, just because it's the perfect temperature. His other half of the family's from Hawaii, so it's like killing 2 birds with one stone. Gotcha. I would love to learn sailing and things like that, and Grant, knows how to sail, so it'd be so cool for him and his family to teach me how to sail and everything about it. And it just perfect weather, beach. It just seems so fitting for us. So yeah. I know that I could get lost. There's plenty of hikes there. You could do things like that. And all last resort, I always forget that I definitely want to visit Japan. And there is a jellyfish research center there. And I'm obsessed with jellyfish. So that would be another thing if I could fit it in.
Yeah. I noticed something there, though, because both places you wanted to go were Grant's family. Not yours. And is it because all of your family is around you, or you already know them?
Most of my family is around us. My other part of the family is in Indiana, and I could go visit them. I guess I would take time to go visit them in Indiana, like my mom. I don't really have communication with most of my family. I think that's just a big part on my side, but I just don't talk to them.
Same way. And what part of Indiana?
Evansville.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, my grandfather built most of Evansville, Indiana.
Gotcha.
The
way
churches,
down south, right?
Apartment buildings. Yeah.
because that's where I'm from, is Indiana, but
Oh.
way north, like right on the border.
Oh, wow.
I'm always by a border. I'm always by the border. I don't know why. Let's see. Next up on Nano Aquarium Guy, who are Shelby's favorite aquascapers? I love her TikTok on spot nature tanks. Yeah, your TikToks are pretty good. You can Grant. I like the collecting stuff you do and all the fish and stuff. I see them all the time. But favorite aquascapers?
So two of them. One of you guys know with the Fish Fam is definitely Victoria Lee Creates. I
Yeah.
absolutely love the work she does. She always puts passion into it. And Melanie Holmes, she does a lot of blackwater and natural scapes. She is wonderful. She's got a really good personality. Both of them seem to always take me and, talk to me at every show and help me out a lot. So, of course, Grant's my number one, can't forget about Grant. Don't want to make his head too big though.
Yeah, where is he?
He's always been like the biggest inspiration. He's the one who helped me learn about it and introduced me into it. So and he's always better than me, so we got to have that competition.
And what did you win at the Keystone Clash?
I won People's Choice because you guys love me so much.
There you go.
Fish Fam had my back.
And again, I told Grant this, but I was the one who started the booing. Yeah, I think you were still sitting next to me when I did it.
He knows.
I started.
I joined in. Don't worry. I'm going home with the stuff, and I'm still doing it.
Let's see. Scotty would like to know, how do you like your new car besides how fast it goes?
I enjoy it a lot. It's
what'd you
really,
get?
huh?
What'd you get?
Chevy Equinox.
Oh, I was just looking at those. Michelle's getting something new soon, and I was looking at those.
Perfect size, good gas mileage. It's got AC. It's everything you want.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's on our short list.
Good price for it.
Sometime after the first of the year, I think that's what we'll end up getting. So Lady Rorschach says, how do you approach someone who has their facts wrong? So somebody's wrong. You know that they've said something in a factual manner. They're wrong. How do you approach that? Do you just ignore it? Do you say, hey, no, you're wrong, and here's why? Or do you slap them? What do you do?
So I'm not one for confrontation at all. I'm more of the one that will just walk away. Because I know, my mom raised me right. You're not going to say something nice. Don't say it at all. So usually I just walk away and I just say it in my head. Like, how dare you? Yeah. Or I'll argue and I'll be the wrong one. So, but most of the time I just walk away from the situation because, there's no harm in letting someone think that they're right.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to leave that alone. And she had another one. Is there a book that's changed your life? Anything that you've read that really hit home for you and changed how you thought about things?
Nothing that changed me. I had a lot of books that I really liked. I actually had one prepared tonight because I know you ask questions sometimes of what books you read. I was laughing with Grant that one of the everyone says don't judge a book by its cover, but I am absolutely the one that judges a book by its cover. And I was at the library. This is back when I was getting the kids' books constantly. And I was like, okay, I'll read too. So I walked over to this section and I found this neon green book, which is like one of my favorite colors. And I pulled it out and it's got deep purple jellyfish on it. And I was like, is that my two favorite colors and my favorite animal? And it was called electric jellyfish. Or Nuclear Jellyfish, sorry. Nuclear Jellyfish. Good book by Tom Dorsey. And I just had to have it. I was like, I'm not even going to read what it's about. I took it home, started reading, and sure enough, it was about Florida. And it was about the backwoods and this person on the lam, on the run in the backwoods of Florida. And I was laughing. I looked up like his whole series. He's got like 30 plus books in that series. And there was one, his 17th book for that series is Grant's favorite number, by the way. And it happens to be a shrimp book. based out of Florida. So I thought it was just crazy. Those are the ones that I do want to keep reading if I get some time.
I thought that I've seen that cover.
It's a good book.
Um,
but I resonate with it because it's from Florida.
but I don't think Surge Storm's number 11. Okay, because it sounds familiar, but I don't think I've read it, but I've seen it when you were describing it. But I think I saw a different version because I'm seeing a yellow one here. Maybe that's the audio book or something.
There's different colors of that specific one.
I remember that, and maybe it was like an Amazon free read or something like that, but I do remember it. The name stuck with me. So
yeah.
Dr. Awesome, I did not skip over your question. I did not see it. If you did the at Rico stand, I'm sorry, I didn't see it in there anywhere, or it might have been before I started, possibly. I'm just scrolling back up real quick, looking for the. Oh, there it is, right there. Yep. Oh, it was. That's why. Yes, it was. Before I started asking questions. So, Dr. Awesome would like to know, when are you guys getting married?
It's not in the books for us yet. We have talked about it, but we've been together for quite some time, almost going on 13 years in February, and things are peachy keen the way it is. So why change it?
Yeah. My oldest son was the same way for a long time. They just recently got engaged. On the day after Thanksgiving, my wife and daughter went with her to pick out her wedding dress and stuff. So they are getting married, but they own a house together and they've lived together for quite a long time, and they're just now getting married. So it doesn't mean anything really, be married or not. So let's see. And again, if anybody has any questions, and I'm sorry, Dr. Awesome, I think that was before I started. I didn't see it there before though, so I apologize. Again, do the at Rico stand for me, so it really pops out. I can see it. If you've got any comments for Shelby or anything like that, direct them to me. I don't know if you can see the chat at all. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you see something that you'd like to address or something, feel free. Don't hesitate. The next one I see is from Dapper Dennis, who we got to meet at the Keystone Clash. And who would Shelby like to meet from history?
That one would be probably Amelia Earhart. Just because she was, at that time, just like, I'm going to do this. And I've grown up my whole life around boys. I played baseball instead of softball. Always around all the boys. My dad kind of raised me like a boy, and I was always taught to be tougher. Like, don't let them boys see you crying, and you're going to be as good as any boy. You don't ever let them, like, he just always raised me to be a strong woman. And knowing her from history, like, it would just be so cool to meet her and just like feel that energy that she gives off of being like, I'm going to do this. You're not going to tell me that I cannot do this. And it's just really cool.
Another badass, badass, a like-minded badass. And I did see this from Susan. Thank you all for those that donated. Fish Fam Christmas, 100%. Yep. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to tell you guys, if Susan, if you didn't know, if you weren't watching both streams, Susan did have her giveaway tonight. She was going at the same time as us, and she did have a giveaway. And if you missed it, I do apologize, but I want to make clear, we have said often that Santa Claus could be in 3 or 4 places at the same time. You really need to pay attention and watch all of the live streams that you can for all the channels that are signed up. And of course, you knew that I wasn't even signed up. I'm not on the list. I'm not doing any giveaways on my channel whatsoever. Let's see. Scrolling down, looking for the next at Rico stand, and I see it from Kyle. If you or Shelby ever develop the ability to fly, I'll make sure all the airplanes are out of your way. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Appreciate that. Do we have to have like numbers on our side or something? Will we have to have call letters or something? I mean,
probably a tracker, and just make sure that they get out of the way.
I want like a helmet with a light on it, Shelby appears to have done her hair fancy for last night's stream and tonight's stream. Something looks different, and that's from Scotty.
Oh, thanks. It's just parted different.
Does that make you uncomfortable when? And I know Scotty would definitely. He's not the kind of person to do that to make you uncomfortable.
Oh no, it's fine.
When people say that kind of stuff, does it make you uncomfortable?
No, I'm used to it. I grew up with in the South. It is very common to get compliments like that. I think other places they don't like do that. It doesn't bother me when people say sweetie or things. I don't think they mean ill words or creepy. There is there's obviously a stopping point where okay, but like most of the time people are just trying to be nice in their weird way.
Gotcha. Nice in a weird way. I like that. And Grant said anything involving murder so she doesn't get caught. Okay, scrolling. Oh, I see Patrick came in. And hello to everybody. Again, there's still 89 people watching us. Thank you guys so much. That's amazing. Let's see. Down to Gabriel. Hi, Gabriel. Please ask Shelby to elaborate on the differences between blue dreams and blue diamonds. I'm trying to make an educated purchase. So the difference between diamonds and dreams.
So the blue diamonds are going to be a better quality. They almost look the same, but blue dreams will actually throw more coals. So you'll get, it doesn't happen often, but it's not as vibrant blue, where the blue diamonds will have darker blues come out. So usually the blue diamonds are the way to go if you want like a nice royal blue, like the shirt, like at all times. If you like the lighter blue, like some people like that real sky blue or lighter than that, I would go with blue dream. If you want to have some, you have to coal a little bit more with blue dream than you would blue diamond. So it really depends on what the blues you want and what you're willing to do.
Gotcha. And on that same vein, do you guys stop shipping at this time of the year to like up here, or
No.
you don't worry about it? Things work out fine and you still ship it year round?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the only time we do is like right now from Christmas times, but like right after Christmas, we'll start shipping again.
Gotcha.
It has nothing to do with the cold. Usually we wrap them up pretty good. As long as they don't sit out on your porch, they're fine. We don't insulate. We don't use heat packs because usually it's too hot in Florida. We use that heat pack for 72 hours. 24 of those hours are in Florida, and it's now nuking the shrimp. And then they're going to go to the coldest place. Like a lot of people always get upset that we don't put heat packs. It's like, well, I don't want to kill my shrimp, and I know they'll survive colder than they would heat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, scrolling down again. We're down to Kyle again. Just make sure you have enough metal on you to be picked up on radar. I'll take care of the rest. It's good to know. See, we've got people all over in the fish fam, looking out for us. This is networking. Scotty says, be happy I noticed a difference with her hair. I'm not very good at noticing differences.
Oh, thanks. I hope it's a good difference.
I'm at the bottom of the chat now. So again, I want to offer you, I mean, it's early, it's 8:30. We do normally go till 9, but if we're done with questions and stuff, it's okay to end early. But I wanted to give you a chance again, if all this talking had brought up something that you'd like to tell people, or something that's going on or anything. And
I did see one question. They asked, what is Shelby's favorite horror movie?
And who was that too, by the way?
That was Legacy Aquascaping.
Oh, okay. That's Melvin. Hi, Melvin.
Yep.
I missed it, Melvin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a couple. I think your chat jumped. I know how that is.
Did it? Did I miss some of them? I apologize.
Yeah.
So I am down to
Scuba Steve too, and there's a couple more people.
Well, I do see more coming in. The one I see, the next one I see is 8:23 my time from Lady Rorschach. So if you asked a question before there that I didn't ask, please ask it again, because I missed any other one. So your favorite horror movie?
So favorite one, that one is kind of hard. There is several that I like, and I'm watching a show right now that's pretty good. But the one that kind of shaped a lot for me was trying to think. There's two of them. There is one, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a horror film on Netflix of people shooting like selfies and stuff, like filming themselves and going into like the horror haunted houses. And it like seems so realistic that like you kind of think that this could have happened. that they get murdered and everything. So it's pretty good. I just can't remember if it's called like Haunted House or something like basic like that. So it's like really hard to look up again. But other than that, like 13 Ghost was one of my favorite movies back in the day.
I don't remember that one, but it does sound familiar. I don't watch too many of those.
If you looked it up, you'll probably know. It's one of the like most popular from back in the day. That one was real creepy to me. It was pretty good. Pretty like I was young when I watched it. I might not think the same now.
Sure. Yeah.
But when I was probably only like 12, maybe. So
I just don't care for him. I don't know why. When I watched him when I was a kid, even into my 20s, when like the first Halloween and stuff came out and all of those, I loved them. I watched all those. But once I had kids, I think I just didn't want to watch people get hurt anymore.
Yeah.
And I get it, it's just entertainment, but still, I watch really stupid lowbrow comedies. That's where I live. I love, like the Dumb and Dumber and the Water Boy and just all the really stupid movies. If it's really dumb, like I just go, oh my God, that's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah.
That's
any Adam Sandler movie. I mean, obviously I'm gonna watch. They're so good.
Except when he's doing like the Little Nicky. That one I didn't care for because he's doing the weird face. And I like when like he's more just like a Happy Gilmore. That's a good one. Those types.
Yeah, those ones are better.
The faces, when he does the faces and the voices, it just doesn't do it for me. So Lady Rorschach is where I'm down to. Don't know if Shelby answered something similar, but would her dream fish species be? And would it be a killifish then, a dream fish? Overall, we talked about killie specifically, but I don't think we said that.
No, I love killies, but obviously I love big fish too. So like realistically, I would pick a shark. I think it would be the coolest thing to have a gigantic shark tank in my house.
What kind of shark would you like?
If I could have the largest tank ever, the tiger shark for sure.
Yeah.
I think their pattern and the way they move is absolutely awesome. Other than that, jellyfish. Like I just don't think that it's humane the way they have them in that little circular bowl. It's like it's just not right. I know they don't have a brain and they don't care, but I do care. They usually tend to die very fast. Those jellyfish places don't tell you that. They don't live longer than a year in that. And out in the wild, they'll live a lot longer. So it stresses me out.
Gotcha. And that's a big swing. I mean, shark to jellyfish, that's a huge.
Yeah, if I could put the jellyfish in the shark tank, we're golden. A turtle too, like a sea turtle, like a loggerhead.
Shark?
Yeah.
If it was a shark and a jellyfish. What if like a jellyfish and a shark met, fell in love, and had jelly shark?
That would be amazing. Like it just has like a jelly head, and it's just kind of like.
we gotta see. We gotta see. Someday we'll have the ability to make those. We'll do some gene splicing. You'll see it happening. Okay, it jumped on me again. So where's Lady Rorschach? There we go. Right there. Scuba Steve just did that. Rico Stan. I don't know. There we go. Scuba Steve wants to know, who are your favorite YouTubers? Who do you watch the most on your own? Now, I know Grant found us when his ankle was broken. So was that about the same time? And he was laid up on the couch. Was it his ankle?
Yeah. Yes, ankle. Mm-hmm.
And he was laid up on the couch for quite a while. So.
Oh, yeah.
Was that about the same time you did, really? Is that when you found the...
Yeah, like I really didn't know that there was live streaming that existed. I don't really go on things like that. I tend to stay away from social media, things like that. The only thing I do watch on YouTube before that was Crime Watch Daily, but that was when they had like the show Crime Watch Daily, but then it turned into a podcast. So like my only option was to watch her as a podcast. So then I did. It's not so much the crime too. I do enjoy the monotone voices. So like I watch those like Slapped Ham. He's got like a monotoned voice with like an accent, and then someone else that I can't remember the name, like those top 5, like number 5. You wouldn't want to see this strolling through the forest. Like those ones, I don't know what it is, but I will watch that all day.
Really? I hate those.
I love them so much.
The
I
voice
don't-
drives me crazy, but it does something for you.
My kids love it, and you'll hear me go off about it. I'll be like number 5, and Jaden will start talking, and then Layla will do it. It's hilarious. But as far as fish tubers, like I don't know the actual. Like you were the first one I started watching, and because of Grant, he enjoyed watching yours, and he was like, "You got to watch this." So we sat there and watched it, and then obviously I watched him on yours because at first I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, a bunch of people come around and talk on live stream, and people watch.
Yeah,
I'm like, the people are gonna watch us.
there's still we've been going for right now an hour and a half, and there's still 77 people watching us talk
I appreciate
for an hour and a half. You know that's still I feel exactly how you just described it. That's how I feel, and now I've been live streaming for just over 2 years now. December 13th was my 2-year anniversary, and I still am. People watch this.
Yeah.
I still feel that same way. I'm like, why? Yeah. I still don't get it. But so favorites though. So I was at first just because Grant had watched me first. But
yeah, I don't have a particular favorite. I watch what I can. So I don't get to sit and watch many of them. I do really enjoy the What the Fish. Like I don't get on it very often, but I do enjoy trying to guess the fish, and I'm always the worst. And like it's funny how they pick on me.
I don't even guess.
Yeah, that's a fish. And they're like, yeah, that's the point.
Did you see the popcorn shrimp?
No.
Did you watch that episode? Because there was somebody who drew a popcorn shrimp that was just really. It was probably the worst. I mean, it's a popcorn shrimp. How hard can it be? And it was the worst drawing out of all of them.
That's so funny.
Some old hairy guy drew it. I drew it. It was just a circle with because I have no artistic ability whatsoever. None. I can't do it. I can't make my vision, come out on paper or anything. I just can't do it. Even stick figures look weird. Does he have a hump?
I even missed my own. I drew a trapeze crab. And I was like so proud of my little crabby, and I was like trying to watch every single one, but I get really spacey, and I'm trying to do like 20 things at once. So I can't really sit down very long. I'll watch it for like 5 minutes and then I jump off. Like my attention span is just not very good. Or I'll drop my phone and then go feed the fish for 30 minutes and then the stream's over and I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah. It's late for me too, so I usually catch the replay. So. Let's see. So Gabriel asked if he pre-orders now, it'll ship right after Christmas if he doesn't order with you guys.
Yes, whatever. If the post office is open Monday, we'll ship Monday. If we can't get it out, it'll ship that Saturday after Christmas.
Okay. Bunny Viper would like to know if you could be any fish yourself, which would it be?
Oh, absolutely. The jellyfish. That is no questions asked. They don't have a brain and they just kind of float in the ocean. I like it. I overthink a lot.
Yeah.
I make sure I always think I'm saying the wrong things at the wrong time. I'm a really anxious person. So if I could just, rip that out for a while and just go float in the ocean, that'd be wonderful.
It's funny because a lot of people say that, but then when you meet them, again, we've met, we hung out for a weekend, and I would not have guessed that about you because you don't seem that way. You seem like you were comfortable, and I mean, you seem like you were having a good time, and not, that anxiety wasn't it's just amazing how many people though are so good at hiding it.
So a lot of times, there's a difference between anxieties. So the one I have is called a high functioning anxiety. A lot of people have that where they're constantly in your face and you would have no idea that they're really anxious. Like it just feels like this pressure in my chest at all times. And like when I'm around people, but sometimes the more I know the people, the more I get to talk to people, it's more relaxing. So like people I get to talk to about my hobbies and what I enjoy, it's not as bad. So gotcha. But when I'm in a situation where I don't want to be talking politics or things that I don't care about, I get real stressed out. I clam up like a shell and
Gotcha. Let's see. High Vibes Nano Aquarium guy says, does Shelby watch YouTube outside of Fish Fam channels? And you did say that you do.
Just Crime Watch Daily. That's
yeah.
about it. Like that's only sometimes like on those days where I'm exhausted and like I can't get out of bed. I'll put on Crime Watch Daily, and usually within 10 minutes I'm asleep. So I don't really. Sometimes I watch the whole thing, but it's very rare.
I don't know how you guys do that. I know so many people that have to put on, a TV show or music or whatever to fall asleep, and I cannot. I need to. It doesn't have to be like totally quiet, but if I'm hearing something, I'm interested in it. And I have to focus on it. And my brain, I'm not going to go to sleep. I can't. So if the TV's on, we have a TV in the bedroom, and if it's on, I can't sleep. There's no way. Michelle it could be turned up super loud and she'll fall right asleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm laughing. I turn and look at her and she's snoring. That's Grant.
Yeah, that's great. He can't stand the TV. Like he's like you. It's like, and he has to suffer and put up with me and my shows. We've compromised. I watch it at a very low level. So yeah, I try, but I have to have something constantly. I think a lot of times it's overthinkers that have to have something playing so that it keeps them from overthinking. Because I'll stay up all night. If there's nothing on the TV, I'll just sit there and like just think of stupid things. Like, did I forget to do this? Did I forget to do that? Did I, I just can't. I can't do that. I have to have something playing.
Do you think about really, really like, okay, so I do get that once in a great while. And my brain goes weird places. Like I had a friend named Tommy Mauser in 3rd grade. And I don't know why, but I think about Tommy Mauser every once in a while at 3 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep. I wonder what Tommy's doing now. Is that what it does? Is that, there's nothing, it's not productive. Yeah. It's nothing that you can do anything with or an actionable item or anything like that. It's just random. This wall would look good with blue.
Yeah. You're like, in 2017, I said this. I shouldn't have said it. Can I go back? Like,
I wonder if I hurt their feelings or that was wrong.
Yeah.
Man. Or I could have said, okay. Chris Liquid Rock says, if you were a loach, what kind would you be? And what kind of snail would you eat? It's a very specific question.
Yeah, that one's the only one that's coming. I mean, coolie loach. That's the only ones I really would know, and just because they're crazy fast, and I think they got the really prettiest patterns you never get to see because they're always hidden in the sand, and I think that's the funniest thing. So them, and I guess I would eat pond snails because there's a plethora of pond snails. I don't know because obviously I haven't tried snails. Which one would be the better one? Mystery snail seems like it would be like a buffet for a coolie loach. That would be crazy. And like the pink ram's horns, maybe they have a prettier, like a strawberry taste to them or raspberry. You never know.
Frankenberry, the Frankenberry.
Yeah.
That's funny. I think clown loach would be the best.
Oh yeah.
I really love clown loaches. And back to Scotty again. So what is Shelby's dream house? Hold on, there's more to this. So Shelby's dream house. Okay, so we'll start with that. What's your dream house? Is there anything specific living arrangements?
Currently, like back in the day, it would have been like a tree house, like an awesome tree house.
Oh yeah.
But because I have children and a business, I would actually. This is something me and Grant have a goal to do. But I really want a giant opened style house with a kitchen and a dining room that can sit up to 60 people. Like a big open living room, kitchen area, and that's kind of like where the home is. And like I really want like tons of ovens and be able to bake for everybody and cook a dinner for people like the Fish Fam to be able to come visit. And then us have giant warehouses, and we want to create the Garden of Eder as a visit place where you can come to, and it's a garden, like out. I want to be able to grow our own food, have our own livestock, and have animals and llamas and tortoises and things like that. So that would be my dream.
Now, would it be like a commune where there would be different families living there, or would it still be just your family?
Mainly just our family.
Okay.
I mean, you know, there might be a couple workers that are Grant's friends, you know, just happen to stay for
Sure.
a couple weeks. It seems to happen, but no, just yeah.
I'm with you on that open floor plan. That's what we did. Well, now our house is not big. It's only 1,500 square feet upstairs, but I mean, we do have a walk-in basement that's not counted as living space, but we turned it into that. But so it's not a big house, but we tore down an entire wall in the living room that separated it, and so now it's just there's a just one little piece of a wall, and
Nice.
it's all the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room are all just one big room with that wall in the middle. TV's on one side. So I love that though, that big open flow, because you can see everybody when we're all hanging out there. You know, you can see everybody. Everybody's talking, and they're in the same room and having a good time. And it's
Yep, it won't feel like they're sectioned off. Like most houses aren't really open, so it's like, you know, seclusion, and I don't like that. Like I would like to be able to house multiple people and, you know, and make some of it more private where it's invite only and so many people get to come and, you know, have a good time.
And I'm also all about you baking stuff. So as soon as you get that done, let me know. We'll be heading down. And there's more to that though. So if money wasn't a concern, would she have 388 fish tanks in her living room, fish room, or no tanks other than the fish room? And it sounded like you wanted to do separate. Like you want to have your living space and you wanted to have like the warehouse where all the tanks and stuff are.
Yep. So I do want to reiterate on that though. There would always be tanks in the house. Always. Sure. I cannot sleep without the tanks now. It's too quiet, and like me, like I said, I can't take the quiet. So what I want to do with the future house would be to have giant tanks in the house. So possibilities of smaller sharks, big puffer fish. You know, there's a lot of things in the future. Probably a huge turtle tank, but that would probably be built into a side wall, so it's mainly outdoors and you just see it through from the inside. Because turtles stink. Honestly, I love turtles so much, but they smell. They smell. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. They stink. That like if you take care of them good enough, they don't as much, but like just not a house pet to me. Like ponds and things like that, bigger, larger water volume. But yeah, it would just be like show fish in the house, like you know, arowanas and things like that, like giant discus and ultim tank and things like that we could aquascape in some of them, but special tanks inside, and then more of the shrimp. Like the shrimp would probably always be in our bedroom though, like his favorite ones.
Gotcha. So more show tanks and stuff and inside.
The fun ones, not ones we'd be doing for like breeding or projects. They would just be for show, for enjoyment.
Okay. It jumped on me again. Let's see. Okay, there's that Scotty. We got that one. Okay, so next one I see is Blake. What's up, Blake? Has Shelby watched Lights Out? Probably the best PG-13 horror movie I've seen.
Lights Out.
That's relatively new, I feel like.
Maybe. Let's see.
We're gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. I'm gonna.
At it.
Yeah. Let's just.
Lights Out.
It looks familiar or sounds familiar to me.
Only PG-13 though. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I mean, there was a couple jump scares in it. Yeah, I watched that already.
2016 horror. So yeah, it's relatively.
The way and people died in that should not have been PG-13. I didn't realize it was only PG-13 though. It was good. It was really good. Not one I would recommend because it was kind of predictable in spots, but it was pretty good.
Alec Kumanoff says, do you do orange blue eye or black tigers?
We have orange-eyed black tigers and blue tigers. I don't know if we have any royal. Oh, you scared me. He's just staring. There's a cat. His phone died, so he's trying to watch, you know, from a distance creepily. But yeah, so we do have them. They're all Grants. I will steal them one day. Face with it.
Bunny Viper says turtles eat jellyfish, sharks eat turtles. Yeah. Circle of life. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
But it would be a
scrolling
cool
down.
tank, though.
Okay, scrolling down, I see just a lot of chat. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. There's Chattanooga Ed coming in, and again, hi to everybody. There's so many people I didn't say hi to. Chris Aquazone, Fantastic Freaks, what's up, guy? There we go. Chattanooga Ed says hi, and tell Shelby hi for me too. Ed said
Hi,
hi.
Ed. I can't wait to do crafts with him one day. That sounded. I hope that came out right. Crafts.
And I suggest that too. And there was also somebody else that was very crafty. I can't remember who it was that I said should also do a show with him. I don't remember who it is now. I don't remember. Maybe it was you. Maybe when I don't know. Scuba Steve wants to know what are your all's favorite Wizard of Oz character?
That one's kind of hard.
The man behind the curtain.
The man behind the curtain. Okay. Mine
is that little guy.
I don't really like that movie, so.
We represent the lollipop.
Kids. I was gonna say the lollipop kids because they're the only funny part of the whole thing.
That's probably it. Or maybe one of the wicked witches.
The flying monkeys. Honestly,
flying monkeys.
He's right. He's right. He knows me better than I know myself. The flying monkeys are definitely the best part of the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Again, I'm scrolling down. I'm looking for the @Rico Stan. And the next one I see is, again, Scuba Steve. Are you ready for him and Chattanooga Ed to come mess Florida up? They've talked about that,
yes.
Doing a trip down to see you guys.
They better come.
Tell them to pack 2 pairs of slides.
What are slides? Is that underwear?
They're shoes.
Oh, slides.
And they all had Nike slides on. I called them the Slide Gang.
Oh, I never called them slides. I don't even know sandals. I just call them sandals. I never heard them called slides. Makes sense.
Florida,
for some reason, I thought it was
sandals.
underwear. I thought it was underwear. 2 packs of underwear. Slides. I don't know why I thought underwear, but
it'd be a good name for underwear.
Slides.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I thought it was going to be something exciting, so he had to bring 2 pair of underwear because they were.
Listen, Rico, I don't want to be doing your laundry if you're calling your underwear slides.
Bring two pairs of slides. They're going to be slippery by the time you're done. And Chattanooga Ed wants to know who your favorite aquascaper is, but he just came in, so he didn't hear you earlier when we asked that. You said Grant.
Yeah. Grant's definitely number 1. And Victoria Lee Creates and Melanie Holmes. He knows.
I don't think I know Melanie. I don't think I've seen her around or anything.
Oh, she's been on some people's live streams too.
Yeah, I really do miss, and I forget a lot. I forget so much. I might have even talked to her and don't even remember.
She's on your live stream last week.
Yeah, I might have. Yeah, maybe she was here in my room when I don't. Crypt Keeper wants to know if you have a favorite style of aquascape to view and to create. Like, do you like to look at one the most, and is there one that you like to make the most, and are they the same?
So no, they are different. I like so like looking at more of the diorama style, which is kind of what we make. There's different names to them, but using mainly stone. I think those are incredible work, and I usually appreciate them the most. And the ones I like to create are more of like the flowy type. Like, I'm not good with structure. Grant's all about the structure. I'm more of the flowy type, forestscapes and more plants than there are, rocks and wood, things like that.
I don't aquascape. I just throw a whole bunch of stuff in the tank, and then there really is no plan. I mean, once in a while, I maybe create like a little cave or something out of rocks and stuff, but a big chunk of wood goes in there, and then some plants go around, and that's about it. Blake said they saw lights out at the theater. When they got home, the power went out.
Oh no! Yeah, that would scare me. That would be a moment of terror.
Now, I hate to watch scary movies, but one of my great joys in life is scaring people. I love to scare people. I mean, I absolutely love it, and I'm not a loud scarer. Anybody can yell and scare somebody. Anybody can do that. The best way to scare somebody is when you creep up. They don't even know you're there, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And they shit their pants. You know, they
Yep.
just like, because they don't even know you're there, and they're like, you know, that.
So-
Yeah, but if you yell and do that and like tickle them in the ribs at the same time,
but that's
you might-
easy. If you can whisper and
Yeah.
scare the shit out of somebody, that is a true. So I had a roommate years ago, and I actually lived in the back. I lived in this little studio apartment that was behind the house. I had just gotten divorced, and I moved in with my group of friends, but I rented the studio apartment behind the house. And one night I had gone into the house and opened up the fridge to get a drink, and I had just shut the fridge when my roommate walked around the corner, and I thought he saw me, and I said hi, and he didn't. He had not seen me, and he jumped in the air and did the Scooby-Doo run, and he was like, yeah, you know, making all kinds of weird noises. Well, that started off a scare war that lasted for like 7 years, and he got me like twice, and I got him like twice a week, 3 times a week. I mean, I just constantly, so many times I scared the shit out of that poor guy, just with the best little, like I would just be standing next there, and he'd walk by, and I'd be like, what are you doing? You know, he'd scream and throw stuff, and his leg would jump, and just absolutely love it.
I scare really easily, and Grant just absolutely loves it. And so does my mom. My mom's worse because she's older, and so we lived with her for a while. And I thought he was going to give her a heart attack, and then he just kept telling her, "I'm just making your heart stronger. Don't worry." That's what he tells me, and I'm like, "No, you're just killing me faster."
And Nathan's talking about the difference. Yeah, I noticed the difference. I called them sandals. Yeah. I noticed the difference. I just never called them sliders. That's all. And we are again at the bottom of the chat. Dragon Lair, it's good to see you, and I hope you're doing well. Kyle said, I lived in Florida for 27 years, owned several pairs of these shoes, and never once heard them referred to as slides. It's probably relatively new. I mean, it makes sense. It's a very sensible name for them because you slide them on. I mean, you know. I did miss Ed. Sorry, Ed. Other than Grant, who is your favorite aquascaper for real? He says, for real, like you were, like Grant, you were just being nice.
No, he really is really good. So if he wasn't, I wouldn't say that he was my favorite.
So one of those,
But
though,
yeah.
with your others, like
Yes, Victoria Lee Creates and Melanie Holmes for sure.
Yeah.
They have that difference in the aquarium hobby. There's a lot of people that do really good jobs. Obviously, there's professionals all over the board, and I love their work. Don't get me wrong, but I like someone that takes it and does something of their own and kind of creates a name for themselves. So it's really nice to see.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we're almost to 9 o'clock, so that's a good time. You know, there's still other live streams tonight. You take a look at fishfam.link and see who else is coming up. And again, don't forget, we're in the midst. We just, you know, this is only the third day of Fish Fam Christmas. I think we've done like 11 streams or somewhere around there. We've done 11 giveaways so far. So
I've
there's
missed 10.
there's still a ton to come. A lot of really cool gifts still being given away. We're not even halfway through. Just right about a quarter of the way through, I would say, right about now, right about a quarter.
It's crazy.
So, you know, make sure you're watching, you know, as many streams as you can through the first of the year. Hopefully you guys get to win something. And again, one more time, thank you to everybody that donated. Thank you to all the channels that are hosts. And huge thank you from me, especially to the committee who really did all the work this year. Again, I hardly did any work on it at all this year. And the committee did everything, all the heavy lifting, and really put it together. So thank you guys. Anything before we go? Anything you want to say? Any last words? Any words of wisdom to leave them with?
No.
You're on the spot.
No words of wisdom. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and
Thank you for having me.
thanks everybody. We'll see you guys. Let's see. So I'm definitely not doing any more focus-ons the rest of the year. I still might do a pop-up stream here and there. Just depends on, you know, how things go. But this might be the end for this year. So we'll.
Look, you saved
we'll
the best for last, right?
Yeah, you got to be the last one. I think you're our 82nd. I could be wrong about that. I think the 82nd
Wow.
focus on 82 of them. But we will pick it up after the first of the year. Again, we've got people like Terry's Tropical Tanks. He's going to be a guest. We got Mike. We all things fish. Real quick, I'm just going to tell people who we've got so far because I still need more people. We've got Mitch from Scruffy City. Let's see. We've got Sharpie. We've got Big Shrimpin. We've got Silver Creek. We've got Dolbeck. We've got Richard Goger, a Snoochie Booch, Sarah Sieber. And I'm looking for more. And my email address is at the top of the screen up there, rico@ricostand.com. If you would like to be on the Focus On, and again, there's no requirements. You just have to be part of the Fish Fam. And if you're here right now watching, you're a part of the Fish Fam. So I want to interview everybody that we can. So send me an email. I don't care if you have 2 subscribers or 5,000 or 5 million subscribers. I still want to interview you. So please do. Bye, everybody.
Bye.